Technology will continue to evolve. AI will continue to become more prevalent, and communication challenges will continue to grow, especially now that there are 5 different generations in the workplace. In April 2023, ResumeBuilder conducted a survey among 1,344 managers and business leaders. And the results found that 74% of them believe that Gen Z is more difficult to work with than any other generation. In fact, one of the biggest issues managers pointed out that they experience with Gen Z is, well, you guessed it, communication skills, or the lack thereof. To top it off, 12% of these hiring managers admitted to firing a Gen Zer less than 1 week after their start date. And guess what the top reason was? Yup, being too easily offended. We've got a disconnect here. And instead of playing the blame game where there's Gen Z, then there's boomers and millennials and the silent generation, and then Gen X, I think it's time we focus on what's actually going on. There is a breakdown in setting clear expectations. That's just the truth of the matter. My name is Hannah Jenarine, and as a workplace transformation strategist, I've seen this issue unfold from all sides. And I believe that when expectations are clear, outcomes improve. So I'll be sharing 5 practical strategies to help managers and leaders set clear, effective expectations with young professionals. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn your post notifications on for more content. Now, without further ado, let's start with strategy number 1, which is to be specific and direct with instructions. Something that I've noticed is that vagueness kills productivity. So when you are assigning tasks, it is essential to offer clear and direct instructions, rather than relying on implied norms or informal cues. And just to give an example, telling an employee, "get this to me soon," leaves room for interpretation. One person might understand soon to mean within the hour, another might assume it to mean by the end of the week. A better approach would be to say, "please submit the finalized report by email in PDF format by Friday at 3 p.m. using the standard team template." This sentence is beautiful because you are not leaving any room for questioning or doubting what needs to be accomplished. Instead, you are addressing what needs to be done, when it needs to be submitted, how it needs to be formatted, and where you can access it. Before trust can be built, and before someone understands how to meet expectations confidently, they must first understand what the expectations are clearly, consistently, and without assumption. Without specificity, misalignment occurs. The young professional may feel blindsided by feedback and correction, while the manager may interpret the delay as a lack of initiative. These small misunderstandings accumulate and can lead to frustration, disengagement, or even premature termination. Strategy number 2 is to use tools and systems to reinforce expectations. Young professionals today are highly familiar with using digital platforms to navigate and manage their daily lives. In the workplace, this familiarity can be leveraged through intentional use of project management systems, such as Microsoft 365. This includes tools like OneNote for note-taking and documentation, Microsoft Planner for task management, Microsoft Teams for communication, and Microsoft Project for scheduling. However, it is important to note a critical distinction. Just because young professionals are fluent in social media does not mean that they are automatically literate in workplace productivity software. Comfort with Instagram or TikTok or Facebook does not equate to proficiency in Microsoft Excel or Outlook. This is why providing initial training and ongoing support on how to effectively use these systems is essential to setting every employee up for success. So if you would like to increase your employees' digital literacy in this sense to help them understand how to use technology for their advantage, feel free to download my training and speaking catalog in the description down below, or even schedule a call with me. The truth of the matter is that when organizations fail to implement and take advantage of these technological systems and applications, they risk allowing essential information to be lost in the sauce or lost in a flurry of emails or meetings, especially if they have access to them. Technology is not going anywhere, and integrating and normalizing the use of digital tools reinforces accountability, strengthens alignment, and creates a workplace culture rooted in clear expectations. Strategy number 3 is to explain the why behind the task. One of the defining characteristics of young professionals, especially Gen Z, is their desire for purpose-driven work. They want to know how their contributions matter within the larger context of the organization's goals. Simply assigning a task without context may lead to a transactional mindset, where employees complete tasks mechanically, but without engagement or care. Think about it like this, right? Instead of saying, send the client the report, you could say, this report is going to be used by the client to pitch their next round of funding. This is why accuracy and clarity here help position us as a strategic partner. This is why we need you to do it this way. By connecting the task to its broader impact, you not only clarify expectations, but you're also elevating the employee's sense of purpose and accountability. I've seen this so many times, even like in my experience, where I'm lost or a young professional is lost because they don't know what's going on. Failing to provide this context can result in apathy and underperformance. When individuals don't understand the why, especially when they are new to the workplace and they're just assimilating and basically learning, they are less likely to be proactive, emotionally invested, or willing to go above and beyond. Strategy number 4 is to establish a feedback loop early on. Expectations are not static. They require ongoing clarification, reinforcement, and adjustment. Creating a feedback culture that invites regular two-way dialogue helps set the tone for continuous improvement. This means not only offering clear, constructive feedback, but also encouraging employees to ask questions, seek clarification, and share their own insights. For example, a manager might say, "Hey, I really like how you structure the content in this presentation. Next time, let's work on aligning the visuals with the branding guidelines because we want everything to remain consistent." They may even follow this by asking, "Was there anything unclear about the expectations that I could improve for next time?" This type of exchange builds trust and reduces fear around correction. When organizations neglect to build this culture, small misunderstandings can snowball into recurring performance issues, something that no one wants. Employees may assume that they are meeting expectations when the reality is they're not. And managers may feel hesitant to provide feedback until it becomes an actual crisis, for lack of better words. And by that time, it may be too late. And finally, strategy number 5, clarify cultural and behavioral expectations upfront. One of the most overlooked aspects of onboarding young professionals is the need to communicate the behavioral norms and cultural expectations of the organization. What may seem like common sense to what I like to call seasoned professionals is not necessarily intuitive to those who are just entering the workplace for the first time, especially in a multi-generational environment with varying professional norms. Rather than relying on unspoken rules, it's important for leaders to take time to explain what professionalism looks like within their specific organizational context. This includes everything from preferred communication styles and response times to the tone used in internal messaging to even expectations around meeting etiquette, punctuality, and dress code. Just to give another example, during onboarding, a manager might explain, "Hey, just so you know, in our team meetings, we expect everyone to have their cameras on because we like this engagement. We like to, have that personal tone in the meeting. But if you're unable to do that, just let us know in advance," right? Also, the organization could provide a welcome packet that outlines how to structure email subject lines for internal requests, when to escalate a concern, or how to request support from a supervisor. When these cultural expectations are not clearly communicated, young professionals are left to interpret social cues on their own, often through trial and error. This can result in confusion, missteps, and unintended consequences, such as being perceived as disinterested or lacking initiative. And over time, this ambiguity can lead to decreased confidence, strained relationships, and eventual disengagement from the team. So taking this proactive approach in defining what the organizational culture is, it tells young professionals that they are not expected to just know how things work, but that the organization is actually invested in helping them succeed. And also, just so you know, to support this process and as a part of my services, I offer tailored Gen Z onboarding workshops designed to bridge generational gaps, clarify workplace norms, and equip young professionals with the tools that they need to thrive from day one. When we take the time to be explicit about our standards, explain the reasoning behind our requests, and create systems that support mutual understanding, we bridge the gap between potential and performance. Young professionals are not the problem. Instead, a lack of clear expectations is. So if your organization is experiencing high turnover, disengagement, or communication breakdowns with new talent, it may be time to revisit how expectations are being communicated and whether they're being reinforced consistently. As always, I'm here to support organizations in creating aligned, purpose-driven, and high-performing teams. Feel free to learn more about me and my services down below in the description, and don't hesitate to schedule a call with me if you found this video valuable and if you are ready to implement any of the strategies that I discussed. Also, if you haven't already, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and also don't forget to share your perspectives down below. I would love to hear your thoughts, your feedback, and your perspectives. And with all that being said, I will see you with a new video very soon.